Hillary terrified after FBI informant pulls out a piece of paper on live TV. Last night on Hannity's show, breaking news were released about the Department of Justice lifting a court order on the FBI informant that is involved in the Uranium One scandal. Speaking on the behalf of the FBI informant, his lawyers showed up with a letter of the lifting court order allowing him to testify against Clinton in the Uranium One investigation. Greg Jarrett, the Fox legal analyst, revealed and explained that Hillary Clinton can be convicted for 13 crimes now that the FBI informant is permitted to testify. Those 13 crimes are composed of 6 felony corruption charges, racketeering, and 2 counts of espionage act, Greg Jarrett said. 13 potential crimes committed by Hillary Clinton. She could be charged with 6 anti-corruption statutes, all felonies. She could also be charged with racketeering for using her charity as a criminal enterprise, and then you have all the email crimes, 2 of them under espionage. Hannity, on the other hand, stated this: for 4 years, this FBI informant worked undercover and he discovered a network, money laundering, kickbacks, and bribery and extortion. The NDA will be lifted, and the informant, we were told, he knew in 2009 and 2010, before the uranium deal was done, that he had overwhelming evidence, that he had emails, that he had documents, that he has tapes, that he would show the bribery, the racketeering, the corruption, and the money laundering. The former Attorney General Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch prevented the FBI informant from testifying by signing a non-disclosure agreement, but now the informant's attorney, Victoria Tonsing, announced that her client can tell what the Russians were talking about during the time that all these bribery payments were made. Let's take a listen with an explosive interview.
Sarah Carter from the Hill, John Solomon, attorney Victoria Tunsi. She's representing that FBI informant at the center of this latest Clinton Foundation scandal. I'll start with you, Victoria. This is your client. He wanted to tell Congress about all the bribery, all the scheming, all of the kickbacks, all the corruption. He had the information. He wanted to tell a story. What happened?
Well, when he started working for the FBI in 2009, they had him sign what's called an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. They never gave him a copy of it, and when he went public in 2016, way after all this case stuff was done, the Justice Department, under Loretta Lynch, called him and threatened him with his freedom if he violated the NDA. Now, I've never heard of an NDA that had a criminal penalty for violation, but they won't show him a copy of it. So we decided to go to the members of Congress and the Senate, and I have breaking news for you, Sean. While I was in makeup, I got a letter from Chairman Grassley asking my client to give them information. Now what this does is set up a constitutional issue, because the executive branch cannot say to someone, don't you give information to the legislature. So it'll be a very interesting thing to see how the Justice Department responds.
So they have the power to lift that NDA. That would be amazing. So we've got Sarah, bribery, kickbacks, extortion, money laundering, and Vladimir Putin gets 20% of our uranium. All this money gets kicked back. I'm always a big believer, follow the money. Vladimir Putin was up to his eyeballs infiltrating. This is a real national security issue. Getting our uranium, it was his goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Sean. It was a counterintelligence investigation to begin with. That's what my sources are saying now. This started out as a counterintelligence investigation, and what happened was, you know, the Russians, the United States had known that the Russians wanted to get by the disarmament process. They wanted to penetrate the American markets so then they could have Russian dependency, so people would be dependent on Russia. And that's what they were doing all along. And this is how they did it. They reached out to people that they knew would help them move legislation through, move the process through quickly. And apparently they found it, especially here in the United States. And you know, we don't want to jump the gun here. We know this is ongoing and the Senate is now investigating this, but there was a large number of kickbacks and bribes and schemes that we still haven't uncovered yet.
John, you broke this forward. This is important about the informant, and if Grassley is going, the Senator Grassley is going to allow this informant to talk in the Justice Department, who would have to sign off specifically? So Victoria's being a great attorney, and I've known her for many years, and I'd hire her myself in a second. Who would have to sign off on this? It would have to be the Justice Department, right?
It would be, though the FBI might have a say too, because they would be concerned about what information, methods, and sources might be divulged by him. So I think it's going to be a two-tiered review. The FBI first and the Justice Department second.
Where did the money come from? Because you talk about money laundering. Where did the money that got into the Clinton Foundation come from?
Well, we don't know that yet. I think we have to find that out. We do know that the money for the kickbacks came from the form of the contract. So the Russian company would pay a contractor in the United States, and the contractor then would kick that money back to enrich Vladimir Putin's buddies back in Russia. That is what's been established in the court case. Where the money came from for the Clinton Foundation, we don't know, except what's in the public records. We know a bank interested in the deal gave Bill Clinton $500,000 speech fee. We know other people interested in the deal donated millions of dollars over the years.
Is it possible, though? This is a real Russia collusion, influence, peddling, bribery, extortion, kickback scam now. Now the question is, who needs to get on this? Victoria, last word.
Well, I think Bob Mueller needs to get off of it.
Good point.
I can't imagine that he doesn't have a conflict.
Well, good, well, very good point. All right, any breaking news tomorrow, guys? Sarah, John?
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. There's more to come down the pike, I'm sure.
All right. I know what stay tuned means in your world. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
You know, what I'd like to know is, why is Mueller still on the case? Why are not these voices being heard? And Mueller's about to make arrests. I mean, I just don't get it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.